Some thumbs and stuff, and I still fought, let's say, with Buster Man because I want that gold medal.
Despite breaking his already formidable left hand in the semi-final, Frazier beat West German Hans Huber to take the gold medal.
He won the gold medal when others were supposed to go and fight and they didn't. Smokin Joe went in there and he won the gold medal. Smokin Joe was an all-American boy.
Shortly after the Olympics, the All-American Smokin Joe turned professional, backed by a local consortium, Cloverley. He continued where he left off, defeating all comers. Short for a heavyweight, but full of courage, Frazier fought with a frightening intensity rarely seen before in the ring. By 1967, he was the leading contender for Muhammad Ali's crown. But Ali had his own problems. This title defense against Zora Foley would be his last for 3.5 years, when he was suspended for refusing to join the US Army. From that point on, Frazier and Ali's careers would be intertwined forever.
At that time, Frazier had turned pro. He starts to build his momentum. By 1967, in July, the first man ever to stop George Chuvalo, this impenetrable force that had gone the limit with Ali 15 rounds. Nobody could put him off his feet. Frazier stops him in the 4th round.
With Ali now out of the picture, a tournament was devised between the leading 10 contenders to crown a new heavyweight champion. Joe Frazier led the way.
Now he's starting to build a momentum, and people are seriously starting to say, hey, if Ali was still around, you think he'd beat Frazier? And for the first time, you start to say, well, Frazier's got a chance. He starts to get stronger. They split the title. They have a tournament to determine who's heavyweight champion with the WBA. Frazier wins the New York Championship by beating Buster Mathis, who had beaten him in the amateurs in the Olympic trials. He comes back and knocks out Manuel Ramos. Now there's rumblings of Ali coming back again.
Joe Frazier and his left hook were leaving a mark on the division. But Ali refused to accept the legitimacy of anybody willing to declare themselves the heir to his throne.
I am the 2-time United States Golden Glove champion, 2-time United States National AAU champion, World Olympic gold medal winner. When Mr. Joe Frazier first came into the light, I was defending my title against Zora Foley for the 10th time. I defended my title, defeated the best.
When Mathis and I won the title, then he was like running around talking about I got this title, and he wants to beat me up. I was ugly, you know what I mean? And said I couldn't talk and I couldn't walk. I was too small to be a champion. But therefore, I had no problem kicking his butt.
If Ali was to come back, though, he wanted Joe Frazier.
Hey, fellas, to see Joe Frazier, holler. Trying to find Joe Frazier.
There's talk he's going to fight on an Indian reservation. Talk he's going to fight up in the Goodyear blimp. Talk here they're going to put him in some island to fight. All these crazy possibilities of him coming back and fighting.
One more time, who's the champ of the world?
Despite the protestations, Frazier only had his sights set on becoming the official heavyweight champion. A fight against Jimmy Ellis in February 1970 gave him that chance.
Ellis was easier than Mathis. Jimmy was no heavyweight. You understand? Jimmy grew from middleweight to light heavy, then heavyweight. So it makes a difference.
But by August 1970, Ali was back. And after 3.5 years in exile, that meeting with Frazier was closer than ever.
Then they announced that Ali's making a comeback in Atlanta, and he stops Jerry Quarry in October. Frazier comes back and destroys Bob Foster, the light heavyweight champion, in November. And now the stage is set. You know, every contender's been knocked down. It's like these two guys in the old West, the one in white and the one in black, and they face off in the gunslinging showdown, and there's nobody else standing.
I'll get you. You done nothing, man. I will get you.
And like everybody's anticipating this fantastic fight is about to happen.
The date was set for March the 8th, 1971, at New York's Madison Square Garden. It was billed as the fight of the century.
It was a natural rivalry because he became the champ while my guy was away.
They didn't like each other.
Because Ali didn't like Joe, and Joe didn't like Ali because of name calling he was doing with Joe. Calling him Uncle Tom and everything, and boy and all that, you know. And Joe didn't like that.
How is a slow, flat-footed, ugly, slow, awkward Joe Frazier gonna whip Muhammad Ali? If he dreamed it, he better wake up and apologize.
Well, yeah, silly got his little gimmicks and little schemes and little plan and little phony ways about him, you know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, he's all right with me.
Took him to New York one time, gave him some love. And he got out the car, Joe Frazier, Joe Frazier got my title. Joe Frazier got my title. I want to whoop Joe Frazier. I said, no, you ain't gonna whoop you want to fight me, okay?
Their contrasting styles made it a classic matchup. The slick, smart, streetwise Ali against Frazier, the vicious, square-shouldered bulldozer.
There's that old story that styles make fights. Joe's style was exactly the antidote to Ali's, and vice versa.
But all Joe Frazier's relying on is a couple of good hooks. And he's fighting a fighter who's not even scratched.
I don't see really any different from Clay's style and the past 26 guys I've been fighting.
What you slip his jab to the left, you can hit him with a left hook. You slip it to the right, you can hit him with the right hand. Okay.
I'll be taking my time and keeping my distance on my toes, staying in arm range. I'm taller than he, and pop, pop, sticking him with that fast jab.
I'm gonna slip and slide, you know, and pop him with body shots, you know, and I get over to the right hand counter.
I don't know about who's win, but I hope Frazier does.
Mohammed is going to win the fight.
Muhammad Ali.
I favor Frazier.
I think Clay will win.
The best man wins.
Both fighters were unbeaten, and both had claims to be the true champion.
Tonight, they will all admit, they will all say how wrong they were. Listen to me now. This will be no contest.
Never in my lifetime or since have I ever seen a boxing match capture that kind of worldwide attention. They had 21,000 people in the Garden that night. They could have had 221,000 people there.
Frazier's hook's falling short. That's a good left hook, and he gets it home to the head of Clay, and Clay's hurt, and he dances away from the ropes because he has down from Clay. What a fight. This is Frazier this time, snarls back at Clay as Clay catches him to the head. I don't know what he said, but obviously he was showing contempt. Oh, there it is! The left hook! Frazier's at last caught up with him. Tremendous left hook. So Clay down, the first knockdown of the fight.
Winner by unanimous decision, and still heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
No, he ain't no fighter. He's a boxer. He hit and run, you know what I mean? But I tracked him down. I cut him down. He could run, but he couldn't hide.
Yet after beating Ali, Frazier never got the recognition he felt he deserved. His motivation had begun to desert him. It was almost a year until he fought again, successfully defending his title on 2 occasions. His next fight, however, was against the 1968 Olympic champion. Frazier faced George Foreman in Jamaica in January.